PG&E admits its power line sparked the Zogg Fire, but it denies committing any of the 31 alleged crimes, arguing that it did what it could to try to prevent this fire. To some of the family members of the victims killed in the Zogg Fire, it simply feels like PG&E isn't coming clean. A father and two grandparents walked into court Thursday wearing shirts printed with photos of 8-year-old Fela McLeod and her mom, Elena, who lost their lives together trying to escape. Being in the same room as PG&E's team of lawyers was tough.
I'd like you to look at my son in the face and tell him, how come you didn't cut that tree down?
Susie Bewley is Fela McLeod's grandma. To her, PG&E's defense feels like a series of excuses to cover up how her grandchild and daughter-in-law died.
Honor it by saying, yes, we are guilty. Yes, it was because of our neglect that your family is not here anymore. That's honor.
In court, new photo evidence showed the 100-foot-tall gray pine that fell into PG&E's power line during a 2020 windstorm. PG&E's legal team declined to be interviewed, and the court won't let us record audio of what anyone says inside, but PG&E portrayed the Zogg Fire as an unfortunate tragedy that it tried hard to prevent. Prosecutors worked to show the opposite. The tree had a big open wound, which would have been a huge red flag that it had health problems, according to arborist Joseph McNeil. He worked on CAL FIRE's arson investigation of the Zogg Fire, but we heard the same thing from Larry Lacunza, who was a PG&E contractor, hired to double-check which trees other contractors had marked for removal. He said the hollow cavity of that tree would be reason enough to have it cut down, regardless of the tree's other health problems. The families of the victims argue PG&E knew what it needed to do, but it just didn't do the safety work.
Quit saying, I'm not guilty, I'm not guilty, I'm not guilty. You're guilty.
We believe PG&E did not commit any crimes, PG&E spokesperson Lynsey Paulo said in an emailed statement. We believe the conduct of our coworkers and contractors reflects good faith judgment by qualified individuals. Lacunza is one of the sources that led a federal judge to conclude PG&E had marked the tree that ultimately fell down and sparked the Zogg Fire all the way back in 2018. That was during PG&E's federal probation for the San Bruno crimes. We expect to hear more about that from Lacunza when he goes back on the stand. Court in this preliminary hearing is expected to pick back up on Tuesday, and it could last as long as 4 or 5 weeks. In Shasta County, Brandon Rittiman, ABC 10 News.